Hello and welcome to the weekend edition. Mazia Santeni sana for joining us for yet another classic episode of the show. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Na show leo tunaanzana moto. And by that I mean moto literally.
The fire incident was witnessed in one of the blocks housing boys' dormitories.
Students from Timbila and Nyangori secondary schools in Taita Taveta and Vihiga counties were arrested early on Monday with petrol on school grounds and will face charges of attempted arson.
Kakamega Boys High School in Kakamega County becomes the latest statistic in the ongoing arson attacks in secondary schools across the country.
High schools za Kenya mazewa kona twisted understanding ya degrees. Now the whole week has been about the burning issue of indiscipline in schools, and several cases of arson have been reported across the country, to which Education CS Magoha had this to say.
If I was not caned 6 strokes of the best on more than 6 occasions, you'd not be seeing Magoha, son of Magoha, standing here as a cabinet secretary, I can assure you.
Now the CS has credited caning for the position he holds in government. 6 of the best on 6 occasions, and is now a cabinet secretary. That means a few more canes, angeongezwa viboko tu kidogo, he would have been our president. And going by this analogy, I now get an idea of why Baba believes he could be our next president.
Leader Raila Odinga received one lash on his back.
And that's not all. If you dig deeper into the analogy, you get you can even foretell who will be appointed the CS for food security in 2052. That's the next Magoha, ladies and gentlemen, but to our food security. Now, school arson is a topic that we may need to revisit in detail very soon, as much as the dynamics of school indiscipline seems to be shifting. For example, boys from Mohoho High School are said to have chosen peaceful violence. They allegedly texted the principal and told him that they did not want to ban the school, so they will just go home peacefully, and they will communicate to the principal on when they will be coming back. Alafu juu story, Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya alikuwa on the spot concerning this issue of banning of schools, when he suggested that if students are found guilty of banning schools, they should be jailed for 60 years. This is a classic case of 0 to 100. These children are banning schools for being jailed for 3 months. Alafu as a solution, now let's jail them for 720 months. Really? In other news, KRA has been on the spot for a better part of this week after their Commissioner General, anaitwa Githie Mburu, he announced that they will be stalking Kenyans on social media to go after people living a lavish lifestyle on online, yet they file nil returns. Basically, KRA wants to make money online from the comfort of their home. Mbona wasifungue YouTube channel? Mbona wasifungue YouTube channel? Watu wasema YouTube ziko na pesa. Now, from the moment that announcement was made, Kenyans were on the roll, mazi, playing humility. Then haters got a bulb moment. Kwa inaweza kwa ile drama yote ya Omosh ilikuwa tax evasion. But then again, for an institution like KRA to make such an announcement, I find it very interesting. Everybody knows that you should not believe everything you see on the internet. In fact, a crackdown on social media lifestyle should have first been made by KEBS. Kwanza wasieve all the fake from the real. And the event they find someone living their real life on social media, they can forward your name to KRA. KRA wasijipate wameshika ringtone mwenye anaishi Karen on social media, yet in real life yeye ni jirani ya Mulamwa. And by the way, KEBS stand for the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Kenya Bureau of Standards. Hapo kwa bureau. How's that name even pronounced? Ni bureau ama ni kitu inasemwa hapa?
The Kenya Literature Bureau.
Which one is fake? Which one is fake na which one is real? Ni bureau ama ni kitu?
The Kenya Literature Bureau.
Now anyway, we have a great show lined up for you. Tuko na concept interesting sana, and it's about how much of what we see in action movie is possible in real life. Kitu kama hii inawezekana. Ase hata kama ni kusave wanashare risasi moja. Wase kama 10 man. Mnashare risasi moja. As in hizi saki kuzita mauongo, discuss on the second part of the show, because to help us demystify some of the things, by the way, movie inaitwa Wanted, unaweza go look it up. To help us demystify hizo mavitu sisi uona, we got two special gentlemen for this episode. One is our resident ex-Special Forces soldier, Byron Adera is in the house. Sawa. We also invited a veteran actor and one of the finest film directors in Kenya, credited for the recent Kenyan blockbuster in a Mission to Rescue. Gilbert Lukalia is in the house. Asante sana maze, leo tunataka kusampulizi mavipindi za kina Van Damme, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Wase wetu wa Embu, I mean Chuck Chan. What happens kwa ground maze? Our guests are joining us on the other end of this short commercial break, so see you guys in a bit. Maze, you'll never see me advertising my own car for sale. That's because najua kila mtu ako na job yake. If I have a car I'm selling, I bring it to Urban Drive.
Our work is to bring you cars all the way from Japan, Singapore, UK, Thailand, South Africa, Australia. Beside importing cars, we are also agents of B Forward. B Forward is a Japanese exporter. It's one of the leading exporters in Japan. And they have the best prices for your information. You are able to just call us, WhatsApp, text, even if it's later in the evening, and we'll give you a discount on the car of your choice. Besides that, we're able to check whether the car actually qualifies to come to Kenya, because KEBS has put standards that we must follow.
Ukiuza gari yako, hatuwezi kaa na pesa yako for more than 24 hours. We have online banking, and now we are able to wire your money almost immediately, same day.
Jesse calls ananiambia, by the way, umeangalia account yako, nilikuwa nishakusendia do. I was like, wow, hakuna hata kuvurutana kidogo. Unajua biashara ya Kenya, unajua lazima mu-argue kidogo ndio usikie ni kama transaction imepita.
With Urban Drive, we are authentic and we do legit business.
Location Kiambu Road, before ufike hiyo junction ya kwenda Kiambu, the four-way junctions, kama unatoka side ya DCI, just branch left, diko hapo. You can find them online on all platforms from Facebook, Instagram na Twitter. Just look for Urban Drive, Be Forward Agent. Na ukumbuke lazima uambie Jesse akuweke full tank ukitoka na machine. Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingodi. Show yetu ya leo tunataka kuongelea masinema maze, and we had to make a show concept ya contrast ya what's real na what happens in real life versus chenye you happen kwa cinema. And one of our guests ni Byron Adera, ama as DJ Afro would call him, Dangamanya is in the house. Asante sana. Also we have in studio kutusaidia kubalance hiyo conversation, kwa sababu bado tuko na ma pieces za masinema movie that would like to break down with them on the show. So we got one of the finest movie directors in the country, Gilbert Lukalia is in the house. Asante sana. I think story karibuni kwa show.
Asante.
Story yetu ya leo ni basically kuna vigetio conversation vile tumesema. What happens in real life versus kitu ya ground. Ulituambia last time ulikuwa kwa show Theater of War na theater sasa ya cinema ya wase watch. I'm sure wakati kwa ground it's not entertainment.
True, it's not entertainment.
It's not funny. Ni noma kabisa. Sawa. Na Gilbert, wewe job yako iko kwa unaweza shika msee maembe kabisa na kuwe Van Damme kwa picha, si ndio?
Inategemea na resources uko nazo. Kama hauna resources pia inabidi huyo mtu unatumia lazima aweze kufanya vitu kadhaa. Hawezi kufanyia tu hizo vitu zote ati na journal na machines.
Na sasa resources,
body yake is a very important resource kwa hiyo job yenyewe.
So, by resources unamaanisha gym?
Gym, training, mental, even frame of mind too. Kwa sababu lazima envision, lazima uone hiyo wao. Unajua si kwa entertainment si tutaiona, tutaimagine. The brain is a very powerful thing, and that is what we use. So it's wezi kuja tu alafu seme nataka kwa Van Damme alafu kwe. Hata kila mtu akakwa movie star.
So movie star ni do, as in mseka mimi ningekuwa na hiyo kitu KRA wanatafuta, naweza kuwa superstar Jo ile investment mtu anaweza weka kwangu kunitrain hivi.
Hata uko naelewa aje na una talent hawezi.
But ni example. Ina sound personal. So Byron, last time ulikuwa kwa show ulituambia kwa movies, especially military movies na nini action movies, mnaangalianga mnashindwa hizi ni nini sasa? Right? Yeah. And we have a few set lines. Nyinyi wawili mtaangalia alafu mtuambie what you think of the two from a professional perspective, from an operator perspective. Najua hiyo jina operator iko na uzito yake.
Ni kweli tuko wachache.
That's a scene from one of the best movies nimeona. Mimi ni fan wa James Bond manenos. Inaitwa Kingsman. So unaangalia kama hiyo kupigana from your perspective, kuna kitu yote umeona hapo ya ukweli?
Naweza sema it's a nice movie thriller,
yes,
for that matter, right? Quite a few things that happen there are possible.
They are possible. Your meno ikipita hivi.
But then if you slow it down by the power of, I guess, so much, if you look at it from the negative perspective,
yes,
some of those things, I love the innovation, I love the imagination that the director is talking about here. Perfect. It forms a big part of what the thriller movie should be. Of course, what we do in our trade is that the imagination is there, but we make it more realistic, one. And then two, there's only things that are possible within the realm of human capacity.
Yeah.
You cannot be that very fast. Of course, you get close, but you cannot be that super fast. So I understand this is a movie. Improvisation is always key to us. The word survival talks about it. The I part of it is improvisation being key to success.
Yes.
And if you talk about operators, special forces operators like us, you train across the board. You get to handle quite a number of weapon systems. Ukienda mali, anything can be transformed into a weapon.
Yes.
Kalamu, I've seen an umbrella, it's a stun gun of sorts. Yes, those are within the realm of possibility. And if you are to sample the arsenal that operatives like us are exposed to, not tools of trade, ni mingi. Someone can transform your pen into a serious weapon.
Okay.
And the whole idea is to know what to target and where to target and how to use that effectively.
Okay.
So yes, I'm hopeful that human beings tunaweza kuwa tuna evolve to a point where we can get to that super speeds. Okay. What a human muscle can do is amazing. The way you can train your body and mind, as the director will tell you, gets you to a point where it's beyond imagination. If some of us were to expose what we've been exposed to, and ideally, we are limitless. It doesn't take, or it didn't take Eliud Kipchoge to let us know human beings are limitless.
Okay.
What your body can hold is amazing.
Okay, before we go to Director Gilbert, you know yourself.
Yes.
You know your speed.
True.
I wished I could ask you this last time, but I'm glad I have this opportunity again. Sasa hii, you can either plus or minus one.
Yes.
How many people can you beat comfortably? based on that scene. Unaweza ngara na watu wangapi na uchoki hivyo?
Wow. Wow. The number is arbitrary. That's an arbitrary question, right? But trust me, operators, within the quarters where people understand what we are made of, we are a force multiplier effect, let me say. One of what a person, special forces, si jina kujibandika, you get into a very exclusive club. Perhaps the smallest human beings that are transformed into fighting machines the world over. So yes, the force multiplication effect I'm talking about here is this: one operator can work in a region where you're thinking, well over 30 conventional forces, and those are trained operatives, trained soldiers, let's say. So if you are to talk about what someone can do with a proper planning and time, na deliver a destructive effect,
yes,
it's unimaginable.
Hata hapa ndani unaweza tushika tu hivi vile tuko.
And that's training. It's the whole game changes about training. You become body weapons.
Okay.
So whether you are armed, you are unarmed, you are able to manhandle quite a few. Trust me, if you expose to some of the disciplines that are out there, like martial arts, they say skill is better than strength. I don't know if you heard of that. Yeah.
Skill is better than strength.
Absolutely.
So I don't have to be strong.
Yeah. I don't want to give this example, but you find posteriors bouncers in clubs. The people that are come face to face with people like me are many, and you find people being beaten and into a pulp in clubs. And sometimes you go to rescue. Na unapata the carnage is on the other end. Na si kwa sisi.
Okay. Thank you for the high hopes. Now, so Gilly, as a director, why would you go for? Wouldn't it be easier to get someone like Byron for an action movie, apige watu cha ukweli alafu waambiwe pole after the recording, waambiwe pole after the recording for it to be as real as possible?
Kama ni Kenya, lakini tunajaribu niko serious, tunajaribu kuimprove standards zetu, na standards zinakaa mingi na ndio mtu ashike kamera, si ati kwa sababu tu wako na nguvu ya kushika kamera. Kuna training, kuna skill, and that applies to acting as well. So Byron will do a lot of the physical things that I require him to do as a director, but he might not go into the emotional things and the things that an actor now, because stories are not just about, ukiwatch your James Bond, kuna love, kuna revenge, kuna betrayal, kuna tu vitu tudogo, and those are things we buy. Those are things we buy when we sell. I mean, those are things we sell when we are selling films. And he can achieve the, and that is why sometimes in advanced jurisdictions, film jurisdictions, you find that Byron might be called in to do a double.
Okay.
But when it comes to now delivery of lines, delivery of emotion, then we go to a trained actor to do the same.
So a trained actor is a Byron who can cry.
You can say that again. You can say it, you can put it that way. See, like you know as well that I'm an actor, and we are taught that some of these skills are things you need to acquire. Actors are taught you need to learn a bit of martial arts. You need to ride a horse. You need to ride a bike. You need to be able, because you see there are things that will be required of you when you're on set. Ambazo lazima tu mwili yako kama Gilbert kwanza iweze kufanya kabla character ile una play ifanye,
Wow. So tuseme actors who do military movies, action and nini, mtu kama Tom Cruise is said to be a very daring actor, or adrenaline junkies and stuff.
Yes.
So do you think, and after T.W.E, Byron can answer, do you think that over time, when someone trains for this movie so much, they can get to be as good as Byron in real life?
Well, see, the other thing, it's a yes or no thing in my opinion, because you see, films tunadanganyana, si udanganya, wacha tuseme tu ukweli, because mimi nitatupa ngumi haitamgonga, so tunaikoyoga, because the camera can only capture
yes.
the camera can capture lies. We lie. Basically, we are in the art of lying. And equipment has helped us do that, because that is why you see bullet in a move slow, because then I can shoot it at 120 frames per second, then I can achieve that. Of course bullet haiwezi move hivi hata ikuwe imefanyika nini, but we have that. Then I can even fast forward it. I usually put it this way: we are in a make-believe industry as filmmakers. We create a world and we push it to you, and we are hopeful that you will believe that, at least in my mind, that world can exist. That is why there's believability and relatability. Now, if you want to do an action film and you want to dwell on relatability and not believability, then call Byron and his colleagues, and then they beat each other to pulp, and then you record and they die for real.
I don't think ilisinkin vizuri when you first said it, that an action movie, depending on the resources you have, you can fake things.
Yes.
But in Kenya, watu upigana cha ukweli.
Kama Mission to Rescue, hizo fight zote si real. Si real. Ni choreography. So ni mimi na crew yangu ndio tutakaa tuseme, capture from this angle, it will look real. I was just telling Byron when we met earlier. You see, in the real life, all of you are working, so to speak, quote unquote working. But in film, whenever it's a fight, it is the other guy who's receiving that works more. so that mimi nitatupa ngumi ifikie Byron hapa, lakini yeye ndiye anafaa I work more. You get it? So both of you are working. You're not just. It's all about it's a tag team of sorts. It's a seesaw thing. You give, I receive. You give, I receive. It's a choreography thing. And there are stunts. And Kenya has a stunts coordinator that has been trained in Germany. No, uliona kama uliwatchingi kuna stunt fulani ilifanyika kwa at the moment, lakini ana train watu wako na shule mwenyewe pia na. And I train what it's called Luanda Jawar.
Yes.
You know, he's very good. He has a Luanda Jawar LJ Stunts sort of school. He's he's the one who did stunts for us. Yes. I wanted to say if you watched I think it was Sense8, there's a scene where somebody rides a bike on stairs. That's him.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did it real time. Hakuna ati nini.
Was it a real bike?
If you watch Mission to Rescue, we flipped a car.
It was a real bike.
It was a real bike. Now, again, I'll go there, but I wanted to say, if you watch Mission to Rescue, we flipped a car, and it was real. Haikuwa ati post-production, ati fanya nini. It was real. The guy tried it, the same guy. He did it 3 times. The first time he failed, second time he failed, the third time it rolled. And it's a Land Rover. I'm sure Byron will tell you what a Land Rover is. Jika unajua ma Land Rover
so, oh, that's why. Ni sawa tu. Basi sasa na vile hakuna budget.
Yeah.
So mkiroll Land Rover, inaenda irudi itengenezwe kwanza, alafu ndio sinema iendelee.
Tulikuwa na budget sisi, hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza. Tulikuwa na budget. Lakini pia so kuna ndio nilikuwa nataka kusema venye uliuliza kama ni bike real ama si real.
Yes.
Kama hiyo gari ili take about a month and a half kumekiwa for that purpose of rolling. So that tanki yake ilikuwa enhanced so that isi leak alafu explode. Ikekwa grill ndani na nje so that ateki roll haita lose shape so much. Yes. So, and then but even then we had stunts, we had standby ambulances, fire engines and stuff like that, just in case.
But gari kama hiyo naweza get to ya kujiprotect from wasiwanduthi just. Sisi tukigrow up Embu tulikuwa tuna soundtracks zetu. One of the most famous ilikuwa Njeng. Tulikuwa tunajua hiyo sasa ni action ya hiyo police and robber, so ukinini na I think it used to work. Kuna wase walikuwa wanaona movie sana mpaka wanakuwa wanoma. Like no, for real, it's true by the way. Umeona Van Damme for so long mpaka unapanda kwa ranks kwa daro. Kama si daro yetu tulikuwa 14 boys na 16 girls. Yes. So tulikuwa tunaanza listing na boys. I think mimi nilikuwa around number 6 juu hatukuwa na TV. So I was not exposed to the action. Do you think hiyo kukuwa exposed kwa movie how it's done inaweza change mentality ya mtu atake kukua sasa wewe in real life?
Yes. Yes. 100%. I mean, part of what inspired me to become a special forces operator was a movie, and it's not the Rambo. But back in the day, tulikuwa na Rambo na Commando. Predominantly, those are the people we knew, right?
Yes.
In this part of the world. So it was an inspiration. Much as now, when you grow up and you become who we are now, we can criticize those movies.
Yes.
I mean, Rambo has an infinitesimal supply of ammo. Bunduki moja na ishi risasi. So we know there's got to be a change of mag. Yeah. But then back in the day as kids, you know, we'd constantly, you have a bit of shillings going for you. Na nakumbuka mimi nikiwa mtoi, my dad would buy newspapers every other day, like literally, either 1 or 2. Apart from what it did to change my life, I would get a bit of money. Kuna kamzee alikuwa anapita hapo mbele gate yetu na nauliza gazeti. So I would take to him, not sell. And I loved me, so you'd look into his pocket and you'd produce a shilling or 2. So I would save, and I would possibly round up a few boys and never watch movie. Now, so those are the Rambo and the Commando of those days. And of course, we had the Jackie Chans coming up, the Shaolins of this world.
Yes.
So for me, what I loved most was, you know, the deadly and the sneakiness around, you know, some of those actors that you can pretty much be within an enemy territory. And I imagine the adrenaline and all. So that myself really inspired me. And I know there's quite a few people, and that's why they say imagination is better than knowledge, right? And that's what, you know, I think his actors, he has to inspire them to be imaginative and to be in that frame of mind. More important than knowledge, because if they acted predominantly on knowledge, you'd not be able to make a movie. You'd just quite a struggle. So yes, that's an inspiration. And I know for sure quite a number of individuals. My son watches SEAL Team. I think he's maturer than his age and the relatability and believability. So for him, he's on the believability side of things so much, and he loves SEAL Team because they're special forces operators, pretty believable stuff, and he wants to be a special forces operator like me, you know, when he comes of age.
I see you exercising with him sometimes, kwa social media, and thank you for actually clarifying your story and newspapers.
Yes.
Kuna wadu umetumia hapo mpaka nikajiuliza kwani kuna special forces ya kizungu. Manze makofi yao iko wapi manze? Asante sana. Asante sana. Manze time imeisha and we only halfway kwa hiyo conversation, but you can still catch more of that. Check out Gilbert Lukalia, projects zake ni mingi sana, Byron Adera akona YouTube channel, anachanua watu about security, go check it out. Anaita mabese zake wengine wa special forces, wana vibe hapo. Unaweza learn, nimekuwa commando kiasi from just watching the few YouTube channels, though wana bust bubble yangu hapa na story ya kuwatch movie na kukua pro. Check out Byron Adera, look out for tafuta pia Gilbert Lukalia, alafu we have some very, very great shows pia coming after hii. In fact, one of the longest serving AID camps wa President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, the guy ule msi anasimamanga nyuma ya president, alikubali kutopea story yake. Mazden Madoka akona story mob mpaka vile walikuwa nakatiana State House na sheria za kukatia watu wenye wako around the president. Yani ni good vibes mpaka acha nisikuwe na kielele. Watch out for that. Maze usi miss Weekend Edition, but for tonight, that's it for the Weekend Edition. See you next time. My name is Dr. Kingori.